Reverend Dr. Wendell Anthony, president of the Detroit branch of the NAACP, joining us. Reverend Anthony, always an honor and a pleasure to speak with you and hear your thoughts.
Thank you, Glenda. Good to be with you.
Thank you. This
My
breaking
thoughts
news.
are,
Yes. Talking
my
about
thoughts
this
are very,
breaking news
go ahead.
having effect across the country. We know one of the officers involved in Breonna Taylor's shooting death, Brett Hankinson, not Officer Mattingly, not Officer Cosgrove, but Brett Hankinson, has been indicted, but not on murder charges. And I did happen to see a post a couple hours ago, the NAACP saying, we waited 194 days for no justice. Now the FBI is investigating. What are your thoughts on the latest breaking developments?
If anyone ever wondered why young people and older people are marching, it is for this reason. If you ever wondered why Colin Kaepernick first took the knee, it is for this reason. Because there seems to be no justice, no peace. We've been waiting all this time for justice for Breonna Taylor and for other individuals, and it seems to be eluding us. The fact that no one was charged with her murder means that that life is not as significant as others. They charged some reckless situation about bullets going into the apartment next door, and they didn't kill anybody. And then they did not charge people that shot in the apartment that killed somebody, in this case, Breonna Taylor. It says that we still have a journey to go. I don't trust this Justice Department under Bill Barr because of this president who's gone on record, won't even acknowledge that Black Lives Matter, won't even talk about racial disparities in this nation. So we have a situation here. And for young people who are out there who are wondering now what they must do, you must move to the next level. You got to vote these rascals out. You got to move towards change. You got to keep not only protesting, but you got to move towards policy. That's why it's important that we reform police departments. That's why it's important that we deal with no-knock laws, and we deal with chokeholds, and we deal with collateral damage. We are not collateral damage. We are real people. We believe in justice, not just us. And tonight, the blindfold has been lifted off justice. She took a look at who was sitting there in that apartment, and she saw a Black woman through the courts. And it did not pan out to the degree that justice had been applied equally.
Reverend Anthony, powerful words. We're looking right now at live pictures of this Detroit Will Breathe march that is coming together tonight. Are people listening, Reverend Anthony? I mean, do these marches help?
The marches very definitely help, but the marches are not the end all. Once you get through protesting, you got to move towards policy making. If you're going to protest in the street, you got to take your vote to the suite of the voting booth. Tomorrow, early voting begins in Michigan. We are looking at the highest number of mail-in ballots that we've ever had in this nation. We have our Take Your Souls to the polls. We need people to pass out literature to get information. We're going to have the largest assemblage of lawyers, Glenda, we've ever had to make sure that we are not intimidated. There's some things that we can do. You can vote. You can exercise your franchise and not let them get away with this. That's why Trump is trying to put somebody on the Supreme Court so he can continue to do this kind of stuff with impunity. We can stop that. We do have some alternatives, as Dr. King said. And injustice to anyone, anywhere is a threat to justice to everyone, everywhere. And so we right now have the threat of justice, but we don't have to sit here and take it.
And you have to take your opinion, as you said, Reverend Anthony, to the ballot box. You have to let your voice be heard. We know all of the many efforts that Detroit branch NAACP is doing to engage voters, to get Detroiters energized and get them to the polls. Even during the COVID-19 pandemic, can you talk a little bit about what you're doing to make sure that those voices are counted?
Thank you for asking. Voter participation, voter education, voter mobilization. You can call the Detroit branch at 313-871-2087 to get involved. We will have sound cards out in English and in Spanish. so that we can get to the demographics of our community. We need literature drops. We need folk who can drive sound cars. If you're a lawyer and you want to get involved, to stand up and to say we're not going to take this. I've had calls to my own home, Glenda, about don't do mail-in voting because it'll cause your credit card to be taken, or somebody will pick you up and discover who you are, and you won't be able to get your bills and all of that stuff. That's nonsense. That's people trying to disrupt and suppress the vote. Our lawyers want to sue somebody. If in fact on election day we find this mess, we will sue your butt and we will take you to court. We're working with the state, Jocelyn Benson and all those individuals. And so we're simply saying, take your souls to the polls. We need you. Now is the time. We who believe in freedom cannot rest. And there's no rest for the weary. And you and I believe in freedom, so we cannot rest. We got to go forward, and we can do this.
Reverend Anthony, chill bumps always when you speak. Thank you for always being a champion. We appreciate talking with you today.
Bless your heart. Thank you, Glenda.
All right. Dave.